Good morning and welcome to Presence of Light. I'm Charlie Riverman, and this morning the message came through to talking about letting go, and I added the word again because it is such a challenging process sometimes to let go and think everything is gone, and then it comes up again, and we repeat the pattern over and over and over again. Well, the reality is because we're human, and we fail to really look beyond our humanity and truly let go of things because of our memory. So with that said, I want to talk about a little learning about letting go that I received from the land, from the earth, Mother Earth. Many of you know that I do water blessings, and I douse for energy and heal land. And I was called to a home and to do a healing on the land. Actually, I was originally contacted as a handyman to do some small work, but as Spirit would have it, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be for the land, as well as the people. So when I approached the land and worked on it, I realized that the land had a great amount of water underneath it. It was actually to the point where I mentioned to somebody last, there's actually a sinkhole hole on the land, and a lot of energy that's just crazy and water everywhere. What I learned in the process yesterday was there were 3 other people who did this with me, and they were the people who lived in the house. Highly empathic, beautiful souls. And as I started out I usually open up the field of resonance and tell everybody, lead them through a meditation and connect them to their higher self, to the core of Mother Earth, and to the house and the land, and ask them to vision whatever comes up, and then to ask the house what it has to say to them. And it was amazing because the message for me was to let go, Charlie. Let go of your doing this. You're all here together. There's 4 of you, and each one of you are equal. It isn't just because you're the facilitator that you have to hold on to some sort of, I know what I'm doing, and everybody follow me. That we were coming together as one body, 4 people on this land, with the highest intention to heal the land, because we all knew that the land was suffering. So that was a letting go of, wow, how many times in my life have I let go of being in charge, or thinking I was in charge of what was going on around me, or that I had some greater wisdom than somebody else. And so the message, letting go, again, when I woke up this morning, that's what it was about, was letting go. How many times in our lifetime have I let go of something? And then to find it repeating again and again and again. So that started my journey about letting go. And I posted a little meme this morning. I posted it on Humanity Healing and other places. And it was, it caught my attention. It was the first thing I saw this morning. Let go of your attachment to being right. And suddenly your mind is more open. You're able to benefit from the unique viewpoints of others without being crippled by your own judgment. The quote was from Ralph Marston. how many times do we have to do this over and over and over? And I realized, this is what it's all about. Every day is a new day and a grander opportunity to see something differently. And that's what I explained to the group of people that I was with, is to allow themselves to see the land differently. Don't continue to see the land as the way you've always seen it or the way you believe it to be. Don't look at anything in nature that way. Open yourself up to a greater experience, because we're stuck. We're stuck in patterns that we're not even consciously aware of. So that was my amazing lesson with the land. I did do some land healing. I'm going to go back and work with the water and a bunch of other things as it comes up. There was just so much distress there. The message was you can't do it all at one time. But each person opening up and letting go of their thinking would be, maybe I'm going to be wrong, or maybe I'm going to say something and I'm going to feel stupid. And just opening up to moment. It was just this greatest space. And I found that it was just a joy to be in that space without any preconceived ideas of what was going to happen. So, yeah, it is perspectives. Yeah, and these are all, it's all important for us to realize in this great time of change and challenge. Personal challenge and collective challenge as humanity, to let go of illusions. And so the Course in Miracles teaches us about illusions, and everything. We've given meaning to everything that we see. Well, we need to let go of those concepts, and we need to let go of those ideas. I have some notes here somewhere. I'm just going. In the end, I ended up with Nassim Haramein. I don't know if I pronounce his name, and Einstein talking about illusions and talking about time. That time is an illusion. And I had already written something that I was going to speak on about that, and was like, yes, here it is. Thank you. That was sort of like the amen to the prayer. And Einstein wrote, time is relative and flexible. The dividing line between past, present, and future is an illusion. And that's exactly what I felt on the land yesterday, was a lot of what happened to the land that's made it feel damaged or not well, happened over a long period of time, thousands of years. The final crush was when it was marshland and they came in and filled it in and developed houses on it. And people have been living there for probably 60 years now on that land. And they're not even aware of the distress that land is in. And so it was just a thing to say, yeah, let go of not only illusions, but time as an illusion. In the healing process, when we do land healing, it's only in the moment. So it can be thousands of years old. It can be, doesn't matter when whatever happened. But in this moment, when we separate it away from the illusion of time and we work in the present moment, everything happens in the present moment. Nassim Haramein attaches time and time to memory, that without a memory there is no time, that memory is sort of a linear connection to information, and as the information travels through what we call a fabric of space, we connect to it through a concept of time. There is no real time. And that's, an amazing concept that I've lived with since my return from the light, is that there are so many illusions and so many things we believe in that need to be let go of. And it doesn't mean that they weren't meaningful to us at some point in our lives, but they just may not be as meaningful or as accurate to us now, in the now. So I know all of you have things to let go, and we struggle. We struggle because they're personal issues that have occurred in our lifetime. We're attached to them through our memory. And if we don't let them go, what happens is they keep recurring. They keep reoccurring. They're like on a loop, or as a fractal, and the fractal goes through its whole sequence and then it pops up again. And so we get frustrated. The only person we can truly be frustrated with is ourselves for not seeing it differently. So I wrote this morning, letting go, and the question was, why do we have such a difficult experience letting go? And why do anxiety and fear arise many times when we do? It does for me. Maybe it doesn't happen for you, but whenever I go through letting go, I go through this, should I, shouldn't I, what if, blah, blah, blah. I wake up with anxiety feelings, or, not wanting to deal with, wanting to run away. And I'm saying, this is why is all this energy being expended over making a choice? And that's all it is a choice. Choosing to let go is just a choice. It does have effects, but if the effects are in alignment with my higher self or my true purpose, what is the fear all about? And for me, it was about acting and being who I truly am. And so as you see me on this show, this is who I truly am. Yesterday, while I was dowsing that property, is who I am. Those people didn't know me. They investigated me, looked me up, wanted to scope me out. Am I, crazy person or whatever? And they all realized that when they were with me, they were being their true self. It was just automatic. They couldn't not be their true self. And in that moment, time collapsed. And when I got done, I spent perhaps 5 hours on the land, all totaled. It was a long process, and I'm going back for more. But I kept looking at the clock and saying, it can't be. It's got to be more hours than that. And had it not been getting dark, I wouldn't realized. So time collapses when we step out of it, when we step out of the concept of time and focus on something. And you've all experienced that somewhere, wherever you're dealing with your passion, time shifts and changes. So that confirms that time is basically an illusion. It's just a marking point for our memories to put it into a logical sequence. And so I was thinking this morning that the problem with letting go is basically our belief in time. We can't do it because we have this world that has created time as a construct and then measured it out and aligned everything to a dial on a clock and a sequence. And we've been controlled by that. And you'll see this in your own lives, we've been controlled by the clock. And we've been controlled by somebody else's concept of time. And in that process, we lose touch with who we truly are. Thank you all for your comments. I'll read them later and talk back to you. It's beautiful because we're all experiencing this together. I'm not saying anything you probably haven't already discovered for yourself and may even know more about. So this belief in time that we have, we're actually believing in an illusion or a dream or a story, however you want to look at it. And so, in essence, letting go is only a choice. That's all it is. It's just a choice. Do I turn right? Do I turn left? Do I wake up this morning? Do I stay in bed? That's all it is a choice. I let go of being asleep, I become awake. I let go of going straight, I move left or I move right. It's all letting go. We've just made this very dramatic experience out of a simple choice. And so our letting go should always come from our inner self, our heart, our higher knowing of who we are and what we want in our lives and what is best in alignment with us and everybody around us. And yes, sometimes we're going to make choices where people are going to be hurt by it. That's for them to deal with. We're not here to live our lives for somebody else. We're here to live our lives because we came here to live this. Most of the people we've met in this world didn't come through with us, did they? No, we're individuals, yet we're a collective whole. This is what I see happening. The separation gets further and further away so that we're in a room with people and we're 2 feet away from them and we're thousands of light years away from them. We don't understand them. We can't comprehend them. We argue with them. We fight with them. And this is, I still think it's part of this concept of time and memory. So a choice in beliefs between truth and stories and illusions is basically what it is. We're a race of storytellers. We're good at it. We've been telling stories ever since we could speak to each other. And they're not always the truth. A lot of them are based on what we dreamt or wanted. And so we've created many illusions, many stories. And at this time, we're choosing to come back to truth. And we don't know what that is. We don't know where that is. It's all mixed up. And so letting go of something that has held value in our lives and coming to the realization that that was just a story. Wow. You mean I lied to myself all those years about that I thought I was blah, 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 or whatever. That requires a letting go of a lot of energy that we have invested in a story. So it is a challenge, and it's going to keep coming up and coming up. Part of that cycle is because we let a little bit out, and we feel better. Then we let a little more out, we feel a little better. And then at the end, you come to this last sort of sediment at the bottom of the barrel. I always look at it. And you just say, you know what? I don't even need the barrel anymore. So why am I cleaning the barrel? Let's just get rid of the barrel. I don't believe there's a barrel anymore. And when that happens, you're free. You're free from time. You're free from illusion. So there were some notes that I wrote down. I'm talking longer than I thought on this, but that's okay. Remember that our true self has no limitations or boundaries. This is your true self. Who you truly are has no limitations. You are unlimited, and there is nothing that can keep you bound except your own thoughts. So release your belief in other people's thought forms about you. They may be well-meaning, they may be well-intentioned, and you may love them. They may fluff your ego way out of proportion. Let them go. Let go of anything that limits you or sets a boundary on you. experience your freedom. Holding on to the present moment, right now, right here, right now, you and me talking, let the rest go. As we're talking here, we're in this space. It isn't time anymore. If you look at your clock, so I got an appointment. Now you're back in time. Right here, right now, there is no time. That's why it flies when I talk. Allow them all to pass, holding on, let the rest go. Allow them to pass by seeing them only as dreams. So when we recall something from the past and we're attached to it, and look at it as if it was a dream. You know, like you had a dream last night, you woke up, and now you're carrying it forward. So do that. Shift your perception. Play with it. It's an experience that you need to work on daily. And remember, once again, that your true self has no limitations and boundaries. I'll put this on the show list when I'm done. Breathe in love and breathe out blessings. Isn't that nice? Deep breath in, breathe in love. My exhale, I just blessed you all in my blessings. Isn't that, is there time involved in there? Is that an illusion? Or that's an intention? Change your illusions and your things to intentions. Live by intention. Welcome everybody into your heart with love. Welcome them. I know there's a lot of creepy people out there. I may be creepy to you. Welcome me with love. Welcome everyone with love. Because we're not going to experience the truth of who they are until we allow them into our space. Not our time. You're not taking up my time. You're taking up my space. And I've invited you into my space. You will think of everything differently. Listen to others. Part of what we do is we don't listen anymore. I'm guilty. I get in a crowd and all of a sudden I'm not listening. Half the problem is I'm always talking. But that's another story. That's who I am. But I do listen to others. And so yesterday morning I was in that field of residence with these 4 people, and we were looking at the house and the land. I listened and I asked them to listen to everything that was happening. And when we listen at that level, that depth and level of experience, we hear things that we never heard before. And even in the person we can't stand, there will be something that we listen to. If we truly listen, will teach us something about ourselves, because we're all mirrors of each other. Let's go. So see the love around us as the blessings that they are. Another way to shift and let go easier is to look at the blessings. We're always looking at the negative side. I can't do this, that, and blah, blah, blah. What's the blessing in letting go? There's a blessing. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to do it. You don't want to go cut your finger off if you don't think it's going to be a blessing to you, so you don't. So again, if you trust yourself, you listen, you will automatically make the choice that's in the highest and best concern for you. But you've got to come back to this thing, take yourself out of time, bring yourself back into the space continuum, and listen from that deep space within the heart of your true self. So to wrap it up, basically it was when we let go of time, which is our greatest illusion, we create space in which to cherish each other. And those are my words, and that's how I truly feel, and that's how I felt yesterday morning. And the teacher was the land. And the teachers are all around us to remind us that, yeah, time is an illusion. Time makes us do some crazy things, and our belief in time creates a separation between us. And if we practice to be more in the moment, to resonate and feel the love and the blessings, everything will change and we will become our unlimited self. And in that moment, we move on to a new frequency of life that brings joy, that brings contentment, that brings compassion, all into the forefront rather than being in the backdrop. And we actually start to promote it rather than wait for it to happen. Because we are creators, we're co-creators. And that's what we did yesterday on the ground. We co-created the healing of that land. It wasn't me going to do this. It was me showing up. But by inviting others and letting go of my sense of I'm the group leader, everything changed. Everything shifted. And it became more powerful and more meaningful for everybody. So those were my thoughts this morning as I woke up at who knows what time. And it's just an amazing process of letting go on so many levels. And I have a poem by Louise Hay, it's by Louise Hay, on letting go. And I'm going to read that to you as I close. A wonderful person who witnessed her through her own life and brought that to the forefront and became a wonderful teacher for us all and brought so many enlightened people into our lives. So these are her words. To, quote, let go does not mean to stop caring. It means I can't do it for someone else. To let go is not to cut myself off. It's the realization that I can't control another. To let go is to admit powerlessness, which means the outcome is not always in my hands. To let go is not to try to change or blame another. It is to make the most of myself. To let go is not to care for, but to care about. To let go is not to fix, but to be supportive. To let go is not to judge, but to allow another to be a human being. To let go is not to be in the middle, arranging all the outcomes, but to allow others to affect their own destinies. To let go is not to deny, but to accept. That's accept, not accept. To let go is not to nag, scold, or argue, but instead to search out my own shortcomings and correct them. To let go is not to adjust everything to my desires, but to take each day as it comes and cherish myself in it. To let go is not to regret the past, but to grow and live for the future. And so that brings us back around full circle to the memory and the past. And when we let go of that, we release it. We release it forever. We don't have to have all the memories that we think we do. And I've lived for 26 years now with a very diminished memory capacity. For some, it's equal to Alzheimer's. And I have managed to work around that because I can understand that it's not a limitation. I can look beyond it. The illusion. I can look beyond the illusion of I have to have my memory in order to survive. And so, release your memories, especially the ones that no longer serve you. Look for the light within yourself and bring it forth into the world as only you can. Many of us are waiting for you to show up And sometimes just showing up makes all the difference in the world. So once again, I thank you for being here, and I will post those two things in the comments. And thank you. Thank you for being the light that you are. And know that letting go is just part of becoming who you truly are. Because most of what we let go of only served us in that moment. And the only moment is now. I love you. I thank you. I bless you and respect you. Namaste.